the realest deal is about a lot of biased opinions, a lot of debatable discussions about business, technology, and entrepreneurship. So, no nonsense, no bullshit. We call a spade a spade. We talk about the reality, the real deal, the real stuff. I am not telling you what to do. I am telling you, and my guests are helping me, either keeping me in check to ensure that we just talk about the real stuff. It is for you to decide which way you want to pivot. But at least now you have the real stuff, the authentic stuff. Did you know that in the last 1 year, a large number of startups have actually originated in India? And me being from Maharashtra in Pune, Maharashtra has the largest number of recorded startups in the last year. So, startup has become a culture all across India and all across the world. But is that the truth? Is it a culture? Is it a fad? Is it a fashion? Is it something you do because you've been laid off? Is it something you do because you want to? And is it the way to go? Welcome to our episode where we're talking about the chaos of a startup. This podcast is all about the real deal, the real stuff that happens in a startup, outside a startup, within a startup, and we put it out there absolutely straight. We don't give you advice. I'm here to tell you this is it. It's up to you to decide what the real deal is. To ensure that I am not the only person giving a one-sided opinion, I usually tend to invite guests. This time, I have Mohit here with me. Mohit Gundecha is a good friend of mine. We've both been in the startup grind. He's lost a lot of weight. I've lost a lot of hair, doing our own startup journeys. And it's always fun to have you here, Mohit, because I know that you're going to keep me in check. I can introduce Mohit. I know him that well. But my introduction might end up being a roast. So, Mohit, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your company?
Awesome. Thank you, Gautam, for having me here today. Both of us have been part of the Pune startup ecosystem for the last decade or so. We're big proponents of Pune as a startup destination. We started Jombay here from the point we started to the point we exited. We had a 100% acquisition of the company recently from Seal HR. Pune has been our headquarters, and proudly so. So I'm quite excited to be on your show today, Gautam, a fellow Pune entrepreneur. Thank you for having me.
I started Josh in 2007. You started in 2010.
Yes.
Right? It's been interesting. At that particular time, we never had people giving us gyan, knowledge, what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
So we both have learned our way of the startup journey by falling down and getting up again and trying to do something differently, knowing that we are going to fall down.
Yeah.
You know what bugs me the most today?
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
There are so many of these startup gurus, right?
Yeah.
You will find them marketing themselves on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And interestingly,
Yeah.
there will be a video of how to market yourself on LinkedIn by themselves.
Yeah.
And they will tell you how to start up, what not to start up.
It's funny, Gautam. I believe entrepreneurship can't be taught. However, I believe entrepreneurship can be learned. And you can learn it from people who've been there, done that. So we have had the privilege of having mentors over the last 10 to 12 years. Of course, you learn few things there. The best thing I learned was one of our advisors said, there is never an end of the day. There is never an end of the world. You will often feel that at the end, there will be multiple things in your journey, multiple elements in your journey where you will feel, man, I'm done. My startup is going to go bust. I'm done. But you will sleep through that night. Next day morning, you will wake up with fresh energy and you will make something happen as long as you believe in it. So advice such as these come from real entrepreneurs who have been there, done that. So you can definitely learn, but beyond a point, it is not a class that can be taught.
I like the word you use, mentors, and not startup gurus. Startup gurus for me are the people who want to promote themselves, but mentors are people who will sit quietly and listen.
Yep.
And they will not give you advice. They will give you advice through their own experience, which matters. I personally believe that the first 1,000 days of your startup is critical.
Yeah.
Even if you are able to make it, if you are able to survive those 1,000 days, you make it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean,
what were your first 1,000 days like?
It was pivot and pivot and pivot, 3 pivots. Typically, if you look statistically also, or if you just look around, unless you are a genius, your first idea doesn't work. Generally.
My take, Mohit, is one step further.
Yeah.
Your first idea should never work.
Yeah.
Because if it works, you don't know whether you actually hit a jackpot.
Yeah.
But you always believe that I got it right the first time.
It takes 3 years, 1,000 days, 3 years, 2, maybe 3 iterations if you can survive. So if you are even thinking of starting up, and if you can't commit to 1,000 grueling days, perhaps you shouldn't sign up for this.
Again, I'm going to take a cue on that good word. Grueling days.
Yeah.
Gruel, cruel.
Yeah.
It's how it is.
Yeah.
You, in those first 1,000 days, you get screwed by everyone.
Yep.
Your family is going to come and badger you. And your family, I don't necessarily mean you. I know that we have been very lucky that our wives have given us infinite support for starting up, knowing that it's a complete lifestyle change.
Yep.
But there will be that one uncle's wife who's going to tell you, you left such a healthy, wealthy paying job to do this nonsense.
And I mean, exactly. I mean, I had a $100,000 salaried job in India. I would make that time around 70 lakhs in 2009, 2010. We would stay in Starwoods, all these Marriotts and all. We would fly Jet Airways. And my mother says, are you really sure you want to leave this and start up? But it's an incredibly satisfying journey. While it is grueling.
Let me hold you there.
Yes.
You can say it's satisfying because it's today.
Yep.
Would you have said it is incredibly satisfying in the first 1,000 days of a startup?
Perhaps yes. If you have the right set of people, if you enjoy working with your team, you can see the team is important. If you have good people around, good mentors around, and if your family knows this is what you want to do because you enjoy doing this. If your family thinks that you are doing this because you want to make a lot of money, it's a misalignment of your intentions.
So startup is never about money.
It cannot be. If you want to make money and that's why you're starting up as a primary objective, please don't do it.
One word for you. You started up because, one sentence, I'll make it easy.
Because I wanted to be known. I wanted to create value, fame. Wanted to have the joy of creation.
Right.
Money is a byproduct.
Fame and ownership.
Yeah.
Money is a byproduct.
Yep.
To be able to move from a regular income to an ad hoc or no income at all.
Yeah.
Do you need savings?
You need decent savings that will not pressurize you. At least bare minimum, it should take care of. If you do not get salaries for 3 years, you should not be sleeping every night and saying, how would I put food on the table tomorrow? How would I pay my kids' salaries? How do I take care of my parents' health requirements? None of that should be bothering you. So if you can, ideal world, if you can have a 3-year runway for you, or have enough investment made in the company that gives you bare bones. I'm not saying fancy lifestyle, but so that you can focus on the job and focus on getting your startup off the ground.
Okay, so good. For a change, we are going to debate this.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah. Sure.
I disagree for the fact that if I had to wait 3 years to build income and then start up, I would never have started up.
Yeah.
And I'll give again, it's an experience thing. I was working in Veritas at that time,
Yeah.
not the new Veritas, the old
Yeah,
Veritas,
yeah.
which was amazing. I loved the job I was doing. I
Yeah.
loved the people around me.
Yeah.
I loved the product I was building.
Yeah.
There was an itch
Yep.
deep inside me.
Yeah.
That dude, what the hell are you doing in life?
Yeah.
And I quit my job one day.
Yeah.
I was earning a lot at that time.
Yeah.
Like Veritas paid really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is about 2000, just before 2007. In 2007, early 2007,
Yeah.
earning very well.
Yeah.
I was married.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. My wife was not earning income.
Um.
All right. I had, like any regular IT developer,
Yeah.
I had a home loan.
Yeah.
I had a car loan. I had a credit
Nice.
card loan.
Nice.
Because, people gave you credit cards then. So I took a credit card loan. I had a personal loan.
Yeah.
I had no savings. I had no insurance.
Yeah.
In fact, forget this. I didn't even know what insurance was at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My dad forced me to get one life insurance because the first salary of
Yeah.
in my life,
Yeah.
on the fourth day, I blew it up on partying with my friends.
Yeah.
And my dad is like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" So
Yeah.
whatever you do, you have to get this insurance. So I
Yeah.
had one life insurance
Yeah.
of 2 lakhs sum
Yeah.
assured.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not going to suffice anyway
Yeah.
today.
So you had a salary and your partner was not earning. My situation was slightly different, and my co-founder happens to be my wife as well. So she quit her high-paying job first, and I was still working. So one of us was earning for the first 6 months till we were able to raise the first round of venture capital. Now you could say we got lucky. We had the right mechanisms to put a deck together. We had the right articulation done. We got the first investor. So moment we got the first investor, I quit my full-time job. So I was providing for the first 6 months. So we invested about 50 lakhs of our own money. But Suruchi was not earning that time, but she got the company off the ground. So different people will have different mechanisms. The goal is, do you really want to do this for 1,000 days?
And here's the interesting part,
With
right?
or without the buffer?
Both of us
Yeah.
have started off in such diverse areas.
Yeah.
You started up with a plan.
Yeah.
I started up on a whim.
Yeah.
Somebody challenged me, "Abey saale tu,
Yeah.
you had said so many years that you want to start up.
Yeah.
What happened?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Acha, I'll show you." And I resigned.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been very blatant about this. I've
Yeah.
been very vocal about it.
Yeah.
If I had to start up all over again,
Yeah.
I would never have started up the way I did. A lot of people are available today to guide
correct,
you on these
correct.
things. 2007,
Yeah, it was a very early ecosystem.
I wish.
And when both our companies got started, the startup ecosystem, the angel investment
was nothing.
network was not as matured as what it is today. So see, there are two ways, right? If you're starting a service-based startup, you could just get out of on instincts and get the first anchor customer and life rolls on. If you're going to invest in a product which could take slightly longer and then you have an anchor customer, that's another way to do. My recommendation is, if you're working somewhere, moonlight and get your first prototype out, raise money, try to raise little money, which will take care of basics of some of your early team members, because it gives it will give you some peace and you can focus on that growing
No,
journey.
I agree with you, Mohit, on this, because this is the way you're supposed to start up today. But you may have planned everything.
Yeah,
That leap,
yeah,
where you say, "This is my cutoff date.
yeah,
I need to start now."
absolutely.
That date must never be changed.
Agree.
You change
Fully.
that date once,
You'll always, it's like
you're always going to change it.
It's like the Indian diaspora who is overseas, right? Who keeps postponing their date of coming back. I mean, it's n is
There
n
you
plus 1. Always n is n plus 1. अगले साल आना है, अगले साल करना है, कुछ तो करना है लाइफ में.
A lot of people ask me, "What have you lost?" And I said, "It's not what I have lost. It's about what my family has sacrificed."
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I have still to meet a person who says that there has been no sacrifice in a startup.
I have, there are certainly sacrifices, no two ways about it. But I've always told my team, in an entrepreneurial setup, you'll need to have a rule of 3. If you want to spend time with your family, if work is most important to you, your obvious first priority is work. For most startup entrepreneurs, the first priority is work. That's the reality. Second close priority is family. The third, if you really are able to give time to both of the first and two, if at all, there is one activity that you can do. But if you try to spend time with your friends and overly do other things, you're going to have compromise either on one or two. Invariably, if you are a startup founder, you will then compromise on two. So for startup entrepreneurs, the number of priorities and number of things that you prioritize have to be really less, so that you can do justice. Beyond a point, I have not sacrificed too much on my family life, because I sacrifice everything on
because
point
you planned
three.
it well.
No, point one and point two. Work and close is family.
Right.
And family is not like an extended Indian family. 4 people, your parents,
nuclear family.
that is what matters. Everything else is a second priority. If you're willing to do that, you will be okay.
Yeah, so I'll add to that too. And again, there's a story coming through. The one thing that we miss out on, what you said is right, your work and your family. The one thing invariably an entrepreneur misses out is on health,
Yeah.
right? Here's the story.
Yeah.
After about 4 years of starting up,
Yeah.
my co-founder got, he has diabetes in his family.
Yeah.
And he got detected with diabetes. Went to the doctor said, dude, this diabetes has struck you. It was supposed to have struck you 20 years later.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's got you now because of your unhealthy lifestyle. So as a startup entrepreneur, we always say you have to work hard. We used to work about 20 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
The only exercise was get up from your chair to go to the restroom.
Bad idea.
Move your laptop, eat, get your laptop and work.
Yeah.
Not worth it. That time, Setu and I celebrated his diabetes with a beer.
Yeah. Bad idea.
Right? But we celebrated and took our decision. We have to do 3 things.
Yeah.
One, we went and got ourselves hefty insurance. Because you don't want your family to suffer because of your passion.
Yeah.
The second, we said we have to organize and start to stay healthy irrespective of work.
Correct.
And third, hire somebody to get us to do the work, because that's the only way you're actually going to survive this.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing, Mohit, which every entrepreneur today should know is the difference between accounts and finance.
Yeah.
I am a culprit to this. It's a confession. For the longest of time, I never bothered about the finance.
Yeah.
It was all about accounts. It was all about what is the bank balance.
Yeah.
Will my employee salaries get paid?
Yeah.
When you start getting into the finance and you meet an entrepreneur, you ask them this question. By the way, do you keep track of your free cash flow?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
And second, do you keep track of your 13-week free cash flow forecast?
Yeah.
If there is excitement in that person's eyes, they're on the right track.
Yeah.
If that person is giving you a look about which planet are you from, that person is going to...
This is a classic trap of a product-based entrepreneur. If typically engineer, product background guy.
I know you wanted to say, Gautam, like you, yes.
The first problem, and all of us, even, I don't claim to be pretty good at this. Anticipating, of course, early days, you're looking at, what's the cash flow. So cash flow statement becomes your holy grail. But understanding what's the gross margin of the business. If you're a product-based company, if you're a SaaS company, what's your cost of customer acquisition? If you do not track these from early, of course you would say, "Arey, ab kahi to main customer laane ko dekh raha hu, usme all of this jazz." But if you don't understand that, if you don't track your gross margins, you don't track your EBITDA, if you cannot speak that language,
get somebody else. These numbers should first. You have to learn it.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, if you don't know finance, somebody is going to take you for a ride.
Yeah.
I have been taken for a ride.
Yeah.
I learned my lessons.
Yep.
I can now read a company balance sheet. I can read financial documents and at least know what I'm reading.
Yeah.
We are all in the startup game. How does one get out?
Yeah.
We say it's a startup journey.
Yeah.
Does this journey have a destination?
Yeah.
Quick thoughts on this.
Yeah, see, the destination is how you define it. Some people, it's how long do you enjoy doing this journey? It's about how long do you think you can scale on your own? And what's your horizon? It's very it's a personal choice, and you can't decide it when you start. If you say, okay, I'm going to give 7 years to this company, and if nothing happens after that, I will move on. I'm telling you, the life keeps evolving. So as long as you are enjoying the journey and you believe you are growing. Now, growth for each of us is different.
Agreed.
For some, it is valuation. For some, it is number of customers. For some, it might be number of employees. Whatever keeps you happy. The day you start feeling you're dragging yourself, your team is tired, you're dragging it's time to move on. Life is too short to keep dragging things.
This episode has been very enlightening. Yeah. Whereas we started off with trying to dissuade the concept of startup gurus, but ensure that you have mentors.
Yep.
We spoke about surviving the first 1,000 days of business, but not at the cost of your health and your family's well-being. We spoke about who can start up, how to start up, do you have it in you, and if it's important for you to start up and realize, you know what, probably this is not for me, and that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
We spoke about sacrifices that people make for us and how you learn from these sacrifices. We spoke about the team, building the right team, surrounding yourself with the right people. We spoke about accounts and finance and the disparity that people have between them. And the bottom line is, should you ask people for money, funding, investment? This, when every time somebody thinks of a startup, and if the first thing that comes to your mind is funding and investment, it's wrong. Do you agree with this?
You need money. Now, either you get your family pay, you either get your customers pay, or you get either the investors pay. So money is a crucial part of the startup story. But if you just start thinking that somebody is going to put $1 million on your idea without you, unless you're a genius and your idea is out of the world, which is very less likely in today's world, that's not going to happen. So you'll have to figure out where do you need money for sure.
Money is ridiculously important.
Yeah.
But money is not the goal.
Yep.
Money is a byproduct.
Yep.
So we'll end this episode with a couple of, can't even call them anecdotes, but role models.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they are a Mark Zuckerberg or a Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
These were the 1 in a billion people who actually did it differently.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
The reality of a startup is you have to struggle, you have to crawl, you have to fail.
Yeah.
And after all this,
you have
to smile and say, that was experience.
Yeah.
Mohit, it's been a pleasure having you with a diverse opinion on this. It's been a pleasure having you on this episode. Loved having you here.
It was a pleasure too, and knowing your journey and speaking the journey together, really appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. You can watch us on YouTube as well as on Spotify. All the other links are in the description.